Dun, 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 dun. Welcome back to a basically soap video. Today I am going to be making a homemade soap base that I am going to use to make jelly soaps and paper soaps, as well as other different soap products, but this video will not have that in there. And I just weighed out my distilled water, and that is my pot. I'm going to be doing a double boiler type system, and I also heated up the water that I'm adding my soap scraps into. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but those are not grind down. Those are literally my soap scraps. I didn't feel like grinding down any soap. I just wanted to use the scraps that I clean my soaps up, and those are scraps left over, so I just decided to use those. So I'm gradually adding the soap scraps over, just a little bit at a time, and adding more hot water. You see all the steam, and it's making bubbles. And I'm just gonna gradually stir this. I don't want to stir it up. I don't want a whole lot of bubbles. And I got this recipe off of a YouTube channel I'm not going to mention because it definitely didn't work. The amount of water I used was 4 cups. The amount of soap scraps that I was supposedly should use was 8 cups. When she did her recipe, she had bought some type of soap scraps or something, and I just don't think they were fully soap. So I think I should have did the recipe the opposite way and added 1 cup of hot water to 4 cups of soap scraps, because as you can see, I got the big bucket out now, and I am definitely adding more soap. You see how liquidy that soap base is? It's not going to solidify how I need it to solidify. So just adding more and more soap scraps galore. I have aliens in the background. I hope I don't get copyrighted for this. More and more soap scraps. Yes. Like, I was so happy I had so much left that I had to use it all. Like, I used all of it. It was just like, oh my gosh, why is this so liquidy? It's melting, but it's just so much water. Way too much water. And yes, she put glycerin in it, and I do like the glycerin in it. After it all came together, it is a very good soap base. But I'm telling you, I don't even know how much soap I put in there. It had to be at least 2 pounds. Like, it had to be like at least 2 pounds. So I'm putting this on a double boiler, and this is going to take a long time, you guys, because look how liquidy it is. It's not enough soap in there. And I'm looking at it, and I'm hoping that it will start to look better, but look at it. Ugh. This looks gross, like some gross soup. Ew. So yeah, I'm going to add more soap base to that. Just showing you, that it's boiling and it is heating up. And yeah, here you go. Here's more of the soap base. At least 2 pounds. At least 2 pounds of soap base I use. Yeah. It took me forever. Next time, and I didn't measure anything. I didn't measure after I started adding more and more soap base. I did not measure a darn thing. I just kept adding it until it was at the thickness that I needed to be. And obviously, as you can see, it's not quite there yet. I'm gonna empty that whole bucket. And I probably have more on the side. I don't like to throw away my soap scraps. I like to repurpose them for other needs, and I never knew or thought about, actually I knew, but I didn't think about doing this before, and I don't know why. I knew about it, I watched videos about it, but yeah, this is my first time. So as you can see, adding all the rest of the soap scraps, yeah, that's what I want. I want it like that, because when everything melts down, it's just going to be a big blob, and that's what you want. You want a big blob. So right now, since it's how it's going and a little liquidy, I decided to make some soap paper. I watched another YouTube video, and a girl made soap paper from tissue paper, basically swiping soap on it, like melted soap, and it worked perfectly, and I love it. Like, I use this soap paper. It is very good for traveling. When you get to that Wawa gas station, they don't got no darn soap. Or you at a darn Royal Farms or Dash or wherever, Exxon, Sunoco gas station, and they don't got no soap, you just take out your soap paper and wash your hands and clean them, and they will be clean. It's so simple. You just wipe it or paint it on like you see me do. This is the next day. It's all dry. So you just have to carefully, this is wax paper I use underneath. So I'm trying to carefully pull it apart so that it doesn't rip. And you see it kind of looks a little bit waxy now, the tissue paper. And I think that's probably how it's supposed to look, because it's pretty much was drenched in soap, like a soap liquid, and then dried. But it's not sticky. It is very durable. It doesn't rip apart, and I love using it. But you just have to be like environmentally conscious when using it. It's paper. Throw it in the trash. You don't leave it in the sink. Throw it in the trash. So the part I'm cutting is the part that I did not put any soap base on. That's why it's lighter. And I just wanted to try it out and see how it's going to be. And I definitely will be doing this again. I carry this in my purse. I put it in my car. I make some for my mom because she likes to travel. And I'm like, Mom, just put this in your purse, put this in your glove box. So if you go to a gas station, you just grab it real quick just in case they don't have soap. And it'll clean your hands. And at the end of the video, you will see me cleaning my hands. So this was like another way of me repurposing my homemade soap base, as well as my soap scraps. You don't have to throw them away. They have a lot of other uses. It's soap. It can still clean you. So you see, I cut them up in nice little, it looks like probably 4x3 squares. And I'm gonna get a little, paper clip them together, put them in a Ziploc bag, and you can just pop them right in your purse. Roll it up. They will not break. It's not brittle or anything. Look at that. My soap paper. So here's the tester, you guys. If you didn't believe me, I'm about to show you. Is it working? I see it working. Look at those suds. Look at all those suds coming. Yes, clean hands. Clean hands. Look at that little piece of paper. And it doesn't disintegrate. No, it stays together, balled up. Still got soap juices coming out. Look at that. My hands are clean, you guys. They are clean. Look. I can go up to, my elbows if I wanted to. I'm not going to, but I could have. Okay, so here is my soap base. Once I'm done melting as much as I felt like melting, it took forever. And the next morning, here we go. It has solidified, it's solid. You see it's no liquid. Trying to work it all around the edges right there. I need a better spatula, something harder. Oh no. See, I'm working it through, you guys. You gotta keep stirring it. Eventually it's gonna get softer and softer, and then I'm gonna go in with my immersion blender. Looks like mashed potatoes. So now let me take my immersion blender and let's get this all whipped up. You'll see it even gets lighter and lighter and lighter. And look how smooth it's becoming. There we go. Look at that. Homemade soap base. That's how you do it. I don't have any recipe except water and soap scraps. And no, it doesn't have to be shaved down with a cheese grater. How smooth it is now, but still thick. It's like some really good whipped mashed potatoes. So I'm going to be using this soap base to make my soap jellies. I got another recipe from another YouTuber, and I really didn't follow it exactly, but you know, I did my best. I'll say that. I'll weigh out my distilled water. The fragrance I'm using is Apple Crisp, because I'm going to be putting these in a apple silicone mold. And now weighing out my soap base. The water I am heating in the microwave because it needs to be hot to dissolve the gelatin and the soap. And this gelatin I'm using is just the regular gelatin from Walmart. It was about $2.19 a box, which I think is grossly overpriced, but I wanted to try it. Here goes my pretty apple mold. Doesn't it look like the Apple symbol? Like the MacBook symbol. I thought it was real cute. And no, I don't remember. I probably got these from actually Amazon. I feel like that's where I seen these. Because they're not, you know, the heaviest or sturdiest of molds. Oops. I just dropped my gelatin packet in the hot water. Yeah, let's get the rest of that out as much as possible. Now I feel like this process of me stirring it took a while, and I think that I should have had the hot water, like had the gelatin in first, and then slowly pour hot water and stir so that it can mix up better, because I had clumps, like a lot of clumps. So I was mixing for about maybe 5-10 minutes. Mixing. Yeah, a dash of salt. The salt is supposed to make it not fall apart in your hands. sometimes it inhibits the bubbles. So once you see the final product and see me use it, you can be the judge. See, still mashing up those clumps that was in there. So in goes the soap base. And yes, as it sits, it will, get hardened back up. But all you have to do is mix it and it'll start to get soft again. That's why you add the glycerin when you're heating up the soap scraps with the water. The soap starts to immediately blend with the water in no time. See that? There it goes, all blended in. Nice and smooth, no clumps. A little bit of bubbles, but not that many. And let me get my colorant. I'm using I forget, some type of red. I'm sorry. I don't know exactly the title of the red. And again, I'm showing you the fragrance oil. I need to get better at my editing, you guys. Definitely. So I think I'm putting that's a 3 ml pipette, so less than a mil. And obviously that wasn't enough colorant. So I need to get better with knowing the ratio of colorant and the different measurements that I'm making. But today I'm just going to add until it's the color that I want it to be, which is going to be a pretty pink. I'm sure I could have got it darker, but this is the first time I'm doing this and I don't want to really waste more colorant than necessary. So just mix that in with my little whisk. I got those from the dollar store. I think Dollar Tree have those silicone whisks. I know Walmart has them, but they're a couple of dollars. The Dollar Tree, they were $1. Now they're $1.25, so it's like a $1.25 tree, I guess. I don't know. But they're very handy when you're doing small batches or test batches and don't need a big spatula or whisk or spoon, because I've got spatulas, whisks, and spoons, all different colors. They're so cute. Look at these apples. Am I infringing on some copyrights with having an apple mold that looks just like the apple sign? Or maybe it doesn't. Let me look at my MacBook real quick. No, not quite. The MacBook has a bite on the side of the apple. I never realized that. I never realized that it was oh my gosh, yes. Here, look at this. Yeah. This was no good. No good, you guys. when I was washing my hands, it took forever for it to be like suds. It has this really hard like shell on the top, and yeah, totally disappointing. It doesn't just break up though, probably because it's so hard, and it is dehydrated. I did leave it out after I took it out the molds in my basement, and it's not very humid down there, and these things just started drying up and drying up, but it's still like sticking together as I'm squishing it. I'm like, okay, I guess I got something right. Not sure exactly what it is. So yeah, I give myself a F for failing.